Hello everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi. First of all, yes, the title of the video is correct. I did indeed get engaged, and that's part of the reason why I was kind of gone for a little bit. I was on vacation, that all happened, so I just wanted to kind of take it all in, but now I'm back and I want to share my story because I want to hear the same exact success stories from all of you guys, whether it's SP or any of the desires that you have. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before I forget, as always, my one-on-one coaching is linked in my description and as well as my channel page. So if you want success stories just like this or whatever it is that you want, you know where to find me. Let me start the video by saying that people will only love you as deeply as you love yourself and as deeply as you allow them to love you. You cannot be hateful and spiteful to yourself and expect to have someone come swoop in, shower you with love that you're not giving yourself initially. That might come off as limiting belief, but I'm sorry. Like, why would someone love you if you don't love yourself? Look inward and see how you treat yourself and how you've allowed people to treat you up until this point in your life. What behaviors have you allowed that you don't align with? And in turn, what are you telling yourself by allowing this to occur? For example, people cheating on you and then getting back to you and you accepting them, or people being toxic towards you and you reinforcing it, allowing it to happen, allowing them to keep coming back. And then even you having boundaries and then people cross them and then you get over it quick and you let them come back. By you doing this, you're energetically telling them, that's okay if you disrespect me, that's okay if you're toxic towards me, and then you just keep letting them come back in. If you're experiencing any of these behaviors, realize that you're allowing it to happen. I know that might come off as harsh, but it is true. Like, you accept what you get. Like, what you get is what you accept. You're reinforcing this behavior and allowing it to happen. And we're going to stop that today. Like, I do not want any of my friends on here letting that happen and not having the relationship or whatever it is of their dreams. The next thing I want to talk about is things you have to stop saying if you want to be treated right, if you want to be spoiled, if you want to get the princess treatment. You cannot be saying some of these things. And I know people say these because I used to say them too. But once I stopped, that's when everything turned around, obviously. You can't go around saying things like, I don't feel worthy, I always get played, all men or all women are trash, I always get cheated on, people never treat me right. If these are your core beliefs, this is what's going to keep being mirrored to you. Your mind is a giant mirror, or the world is a giant mirror of your innermost thoughts. If your core beliefs are that people, men, women are trash, that's what you're continuously going to be shown. These deep-rooted beliefs are the stories that keep getting played over and over again in different versions. Why do you think you keep attracting the same type of people? Because if you're not changing here, if you're not changing that internal identity, you're going to keep attracting the same BS people into your life time and time again, because that's what you assume and expect out of other people. You attract what you are and what you expect, not what you want. If you want to attract what you want, you got to be in alignment with that. You got to be that version that is capable of accepting the love from those people. Start telling the story, the new story of how you want to be treated. Start telling the story about how amazing, how well you're treated, how you're always treated like a king or a queen, how you're always spoiled, you're always catered to, people love and adore you, you're always in healthy relationships, you're always the number one priority, you're always prioritized. Everyone that you meet loves and adores you. Everyone that you meet bends over backwards to meet your needs and get you exactly what it is that you want. People always treat you right. Say that to yourself. People always treat me right. I am always cared for. I am always valued. I am always on the pedestal. A lot of this obviously is very self-concept related, which we'll touch more on later in the video. But for me and my niche, that is just literally bread and butter. Like, I feel like that's just like the basis of like everything. And tell this to yourself multiple times a day. These are your new wanted thoughts. This isn't a technique of you saying this to yourself once or twice a day and then the rest of the day going like, men ain't shit, woman, treat me like garbage, blah, 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 all this stuff, like I'm never treated right, and going back to your old beliefs. You literally have to repeat this to yourself over and over and over again. How would the version of you that is loved, adored, and cared for think? Tap into that. How would you feel? How would you think? How would you act? What would you accept for yourself? What would you accept out of other people? These things will help bring you into that identity of that person that is loved, cared for, valued, that is always treated like gold. And like I said, all those statements that I just mentioned can be easily turned into affirmations that you repeat to yourself daily. The next thing I want to talk about is how you need to treat yourself in order for other people to treat you. First of all, stop letting people walk all over you and disrespecting your boundaries. If you have strong set boundaries, if people cross them, no, that's it. Like, either cut them off. You can change the way the outcome is going, but I'm saying for initial people, if you just have such a strong attachment to how they act and if they're constantly disrespecting you, that's not okay. Like, you can't be letting that happen and then having these other beliefs of I'm worthy of all this stuff, but I'm still gonna let these people walk over me and disrespect me. Do you know what I mean? If you don't have strong boundaries for yourself and hold yourself accountable, no one else will. That's why I talk about discipline a lot and holding yourself accountable. If you set boundaries for yourself and you follow through with them, you have that inner trust with yourself. So then when you have that and it's reflected outwards, people see that you're a high value man or woman and you have strong boundaries for yourself that you follow through with, they will follow through as well. They have no choice. Everyone is you pushed out. People will show up the way you assume and expect them to. If you don't care about treating yourself right and loving yourself, other people won't. Point blank, period. You don't solely attract toxic people. Toxic people might be everywhere, but you choose to allow them to stay. People will remain and act as they do as long as you allow this to happen and as long as you're reaffirming the story of them being toxic, them treating you like shit, them just not showing up the way you want them to show up. Your assumption and expectation of how they show up will be proven to you time and time again. So the thing is, like I just mentioned, you can either choose to view this person in a different light, completely flip the script, completely flip the story, act a little delusional, so to say, or if you're the type of person that's like, I'm done, I want to start fresh, I want to start with someone new, cut that toxic person out and start telling yourself that you attract people that treat you like a king or queen, like pure gold, that always treat you with the utmost respect, and just any of that old toxic shit can be thrown in the trash. But then again, like I said, this is a judgment-free zone. If it's someone that you just love so much and you only want that person, so be it. This is a judgment-free zone. You can have do be anything and everything that you want. For me, with my fiance, he was amazing from the jump because I assumed and expected that people that come into my life treat me with love and respect, adore me. Any toxic situation I've had in the past, I literally just completely discarded that story. I don't align with that anymore. So that's why people, toxic people and people that would treat me like shit, they can't even get to my level because I don't expect or assume that for myself. I'm just I don't even mean to say this to come off as snobby or anything. It just the way I view myself in situations energetically, those people can't even come into my reality. They don't exist. That's the thing. People don't exist unless you want them to. When you start telling yourself that you're always spoiled, loved, catered to, treated like a princess or prince or king or whatever, treated like pure gold, when you just have that as your inner core belief, those shitty people literally cannot even come in your vicinity, I swear. Or if they do, you just ignore them, whatever. They don't exist unless you want them to. The next thing I want to talk about is you cannot attract a provider if you don't believe that you're worthy of having someone provide for you, care for you, whatever the case may be. Like I said, look at your inner core beliefs. Do you believe that you're someone that's worthy of being cared for, of being spoiled, of getting whatever it is that you want? If that's not the case for you, that's why you need to repeat the story of you having those things right now. And how do you do this? By affirming that that is true for you. By telling yourself, I'm always spoiled, I'm always cared for, I'm always catered to, I'm always treated like a goddess, I am the pedestal. People bend over backwards to get me what I want. And saying this enough times, how many times have you repeated that shitty story of people treat me like shit, I feel worthless, I feel this, that, whatever. You've repeated that story thousands, millions of times. You need to repeat this new story over and over and over again and step into that state of you being that high value man or woman that gets what it is that you want. And another thing, when you do step into that state of being that high value man, woman, that inner person, that inner knowing, that new personal reality of you being that person, those thoughts come as a byproduct. So it's you'll be saying these affirmations, getting into that state by repeating the affirmations, and then while you're in that state, you just keep getting more thoughts of that. So just like a domino effect, like a compounded domino effect of things getting better and better and better and better. Everyone is you pushed out. You're not changing the people. You're not manipulating anyone from the outside. You're changing within. You're changing the inner identity, and that's what's causing all these changes. You change yourself and everyone around you follows. There's no need to do any outside manipulation. When you change the way you view yourself, people will change the way they view you. The world is a giant mirror of your innermost thoughts. What you assume and expect of yourself is what will be reflected to everyone around you. And your subconscious knows what you want. That's why I'll get into like affirmations, but your subconscious deeply knows what you want. You don't have to get so nitpicky specific about like what kind of relationship you want, exactly like the kind of person you want. Because I'm sure you've like crossed paths with people or seen people on social media or just know people, and your mind will be like, oh, like I'd like want to date someone like this. I want to be treated like this. Like you make those associations. That's why with affirming, it could be either general or specific. It really depends on the person. Law of assumption. What you assume and expect will be true for you, and you make the rules of your life. You can be as specific or as general as you want. So the general affirmations would be telling yourself things like, everything in my life is always perfect. Everything is always working out for me. I'm always getting exactly what it is that I want. I have everything that I want right now. I'm always on the right path. I'm always on the path of least resistance. And let me say, for myself personally, I really did focus heavily on this stuff, just telling myself that things always work out in my favor. Things always work out for me. Like that, just like my inner core belief. And that's why even when things get overwhelming, things might not look how I want at this specific given point in time, I know that no matter how things look outside, I'm getting exactly what it is that I want. Like I have that inner knowing, and that's why having that as my core assumption has all these other byproducts manifesting into my reality. But if you want to focus more on affirmations of being spoiled, being treated like a queen or king or whatever, I have some other affirmations for that as well. Saying things like, SP loves and adores me. SP always treats me like gold. SP will do anything to make me happy. I am always cared for. All my needs are always met. I am always provided for. The fact of the matter is that the most important thing is that you look within and see what your inner beliefs are. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, how do you view yourself in terms of relationships? How do you view yourself in terms of how people treat you? This is the core basis of everything. All these affirmations and everything are helping. They're an addition, but it's like you really have to look within what your personal reality is at this point in time. When you shift yourself, everything else will shift. Everything else will fall into place. I want all you guys to level up your self-concept so much that you are literally untouchable, that you are literally the best of the best, and you know it. You know that you're capable of having, being, doing anything and everything that you want. That is my ultimate goal and desire for everyone watching this video. I want to see success stories just like this. I want you guys to get everything that you want plus more, and I want to help you do that. That is pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for my next one.